All right. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? You are hanging with the Influence Tribe, and it's Friday, so we get to have another rock star on tonight. So I just got to know, Michael, are you ready to become a massive influencer tonight?
You betcha I'm ready to become a massive influencer. Let's go.
All right. So Michael's a very good friend. We had a chance to go ahead and meet a couple years ago, and I got to tell you, just to watch this guy rock and roll, it's something else. I just want to tell you that he is now our neighbor to the north in lovely Canada, where he was born and raised in Toronto, and he's currently living in Winnipeg right now. He's a family man, and he's been married to his wife for a lovely 19 years and has 2 daughters and a son together. He was first introduced to MLM way back in 2013, and then a year later, he found MLSP. Now, some of the proud accomplishments that he's been able to have is that of the power of choice. So he's created the freedom of having his wife to have the freedom to decide whether or not she wants to work or stay home and raise their wonderful kids at their own discretion. Also, just this last year, he was able to take his family on a trip to Disney World in Florida. So those are just some of the things. But before we get into bringing out our guest tonight, I wanted to go ahead and turn this over to Miguel, my co-host, who's going to briefly tell you what the Influence Tribe is about, and then a little story on our good friend Michael here. So Miguel Fuentes, take it away, sir.
Good evening. Thanks for the introduction, Scott. I absolutely appreciate that. I'm super duper excited to have Michael on with us tonight. I'm a big fan. I've, throughout my career in internet marketing and marketing in general, I've known who Michael is. I've watched him grow. I've watched him shoot through the ranks. I've watched him crush leads through his blog at michaelseanmcdonald.com. I've watched him just grow in the best way possible. And just very few people know this, but Michael was actually the very first roommate that I had at the first event I ever went to. Profession, literally. He was the very first roommate that I had. I basically had found a guy from Canada that I didn't know anything about him. He didn't know anything about me. And we ended up sharing a room at Live the Dream 5, which most people don't know was literally one of the first events I ever went to in my career. So I'm super duper excited to welcome him back and hear some of the successes that he's had so far and moving forward. And guys, before we take any more steps forward, before we really move into this interview, I got to let you know, the Influence Tribe is here to help you become more influential in your business, because that's the key to leadership. Leadership is the influence and the ability to motivate people in a direction. That is literally the definition of what influence is. This is what you need in your business to create success. You need the influence to move forward. We are the Influence Tribe. We help you gain that by, one, giving you access to the best leaders in the best community online right now. So click the button on the side. It's a big orange button. It says, I am ready to get results. I am ready to move forward in my business. So guys, find that button, theinfluencetribe.com. Definitely find that button and click it. For those people that don't know you, share your story of how marketing and just let people know who you are.
All right. Well, I'm looking around for the guy you're just talking about, Miguel. Thanks for that great intro. Very humbled, and I'm honored to be with the Influence Tribe. You guys have been doing an amazing job since when it was the Victory Tribe, and now now Influence Tribe. And this is just sorry, we're not the Victory Tribe. Got that one mixed up. But anyways, the Influence Tribe, and this is awesome. And I've been watching you guys, now you're on podcasts, and it's just grown so much, and the lives that you're impacting are well beyond probably what you even know who you're impacting. So a little bit about myself, without naming any companies. How I got started in network marketing was easy. I was in IT, and I really was, you know, the old story. I hated my job, and that's exactly where it is. I was looking for IT, so what I typed in, and this is gonna totally give away a company, but I don't mean to do it, but it's part of my story. I typed in IT work. Think about it. What comes up? So I did some research, found out someone in my area was in the company. So I kind of asked a few questions, thought, what the heck, why not try it? My wife wants me to get another job. So I was like, well, I don't want to get another job when we're going to have another baby. I want to be home with the kids. I want them to know who I am. So kind of got in like that. Did I struggle right off the bat? Thinking back to it, no. At the time, I thought I did. I was getting customers like crazy, but I was getting no reps or DTs and stuff like that. So I was like, well, there has to be something else. Like, why am I getting customers, but no one wants to like come join my team? And well, it's because I was begging people all the time to join my team, and those famous posts and all that stuff. So I started doing some research on how to get people to join my team properly. So, you know, later on, MLSP, I saw some things being advertised, just Facebook ads and stuff. Thought I'd go in, found out it was like dirt cheap. So I was like, whatever, I'll try it and see what happens. And I got in there, and it was just amazing. So then I started getting reps, and then I found out where my passion was. It was really helping coaching people and everything like that. And being that I coach my kids, and I just found coaching was fun, and I got to work with different people in the industry, and I got to meet a lot of different people. Like I got to meet Miguel, like he said, very first roommate. It was my very first event as well. You know, being the little Canadian going up to Austin, Texas, didn't know what to expect. I just knew everything was bigger in Texas, and I was like, oh, what's big in Texas? So so got there, and there's Miguel, and he's just like he is right now. You know, he's joking, he's having fun, big smile on his face. Kind of went, whew, okay, let's see what happens. Will I get robbed this weekend? I don't know, but he's happy.
It would have been fun. We had fun, Mike. We had fun, buddy.
It was a great time. I enjoyed it, and then like since then we've been in contact and watching each other. You know, just climb different ranks within our companies, within MLSP and everything like that, and then the next year with the 6 people in the room, like that's the one that they always talk about, oh, we had 12 people in the room, and people were sleeping on each other's faces and all this stuff. And yeah, we were in there, and everyone from that group, I believe, has gone on doing great things. You guys have got this going. Kay's done a wonderful job with what he's doing, and I'm working my way up, and it's coming, and it's the beliefs there, and I see it, and it's been a great time.
So, Mike, can you go and elaborate and tell us a little bit how you're generating your leads online? What are you doing to go ahead and bring those prospects into your business?
Okay, well, the biggest thing I have right now is I use my blog. So I do right now, I post, I blog once a week. That gets syndicated out to my list and everything like that. Now, people on my list are obviously people who have become leads. So what I do is I go out and I just find out where my target market is and who they are exactly. And then I just go into, like, I'm doing a lot of Facebook groups. So I'll go in there and I'll just look to see who's posting things, who's active. Like if you go into the Facebook groups and you're just following everybody in the world, that's not necessarily going to be your target market. It's going to be people, yeah, you might get followers out of that, but are they really active? So I find out who's been posting a lot in groups, and then I'll just go and I'll check out their profile, see what they're about. If they're like what they have going on as far as their company goes, because a lot of people in the groups will post a lot about their companies, because for some reason people in network marketing groups thinks that other people in the network marketing group who are on a team or in a company want to come join their company. So you just sit there and you go see what are they posting, what are their interests, and the biggest thing is just being straightforward with them, and then just going into those groups and just following them, seeing what's going on. If you like a couple of their posts, go through and make some comments and build everyone says build that rapport with them. But be honest with them and genuine and really show an interest. Like one of my biggest books that really changed me as far as that goes, because I didn't understand it at all, was How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's so straightforward and it makes sense, but you have to be you. Okay, so I'm business almost 24 hours a day. I go in and I find out their business and I say, okay, so you're in this company and you know, we'll talk about the kids. Oh, you got kids, I am too. So I guess that's why you started your business. And I'll bring up business. I'm not going to dick around. Whoop. I'm not going to mess around with like, you know, oh, so you like trees and you like flowers and you have a nice house. No, I'm going to go in and see, like, why are you starting your business? Because you got kids? Okay, great. How are you doing? How are you generating leads? You know, so I'll go into those groups and we'll get off there right off the bat. And then, you know, I'll just say, hey, you know what? If you're using Facebook or Instagram, you know, I got a great training for it. Maybe you may like it, you may not. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. But if you're willing to take a look, I'll shoot you off a link, right? That removes any of their pressure of being prospective. And it also removes the outcome. And they feel, you know, I'll get around to it. And then a couple of days later, I'll say, hey, did you check it? What did you like best about the video? And they may say, oh, I forgot to do it, because I know that because it didn't come through my system. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to definitely watch it tonight. I'm like, cool, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So we're setting up our appointments, right? So that's kind of how I'm doing it right now. And it's been actually working really well. It took me a long time to kind of figure out how it was going to work for me, because some people that want certain scripts and all that, and scripts are great as a tool you can use, but you really have to adapt it to yourself. So hopefully that answers your question in a long-winded way.
Yeah, it did. It's good though. I definitely want to know more about blogging. Can you go into depth about how you go ahead and structure your blog posts, and how are you getting people to see your blog? And how are you syndicating it?
Okay, perfect. So what I do is a lot of my blog posts will be done on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, being that I'm a father of 3 who are very active, got a wife, you know, I still work the 9 to 5 type of thing, so which I enjoy. So if people are listening to this and have a job, that's fine. You can do this, but you just have to be organized. So what I'll do is, like Saturday, Sunday, I will get up about 7 o'clock in the morning and I'll start writing my blogs out. So during the week, I plan them. I go through, as I'm in the Facebook groups, I see what people are asking, and I'll go and pick up, you know, the questions and go do my research during the week, which only takes about, you know, 30 minutes or whatever, 30 minutes to an hour. Then Saturday, Sunday, I bang them off. If I'm doing a video, that's going to happen on the Sunday, so I can go into the blog. So that's how I write it and how I do my research. So I do use AdWords still. It gives you kind of an idea of what people are still searching for. So that's what I do. And then I just do some research on how many people are actually looking for those keywords. I don't use a single word. I usually use a phrase. So like, you know, you can, you know, whatever, like you can pick something for, like, just pick a book up or whatever, go pro right there. It's like 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professionals. Well, I might take network marketing professionals and see how many people are looking for that keyword, and then I'll do my research. So then if it's not a lot, I'll write about it. Or if there's not many videos, guess what? I'm gonna have a video in that blog because I know how to rank it quickly. So once I've done that, I lay it out. On a Saturday, Sunday, bang them off. Then I start planning on what groups I'm gonna post it in for the week. So then I'll go in and I'll start syndicating it and everything. It goes out to my email list on the Monday. It goes in different blogging sharing groups, starting Monday and Tuesday and stuff like that. And then
can I ask you, where do you put the blogging sharing groups, and how often and how many groups do you post in Facebook?
I will go in like different. I usually do about, because I don't want to get banned from Facebook or anything like that. So I'm kind of conservative about that. So I'll go like 5 groups in the morning, 5 groups in the evening, 5 groups at night. So it's about 15, and I'll do about 30 groups all together. And then my blogging groups that I'm in are just like friends that have invited me to them and stuff like that. Or we have one, through MLSP, we have the Blitz blogging band members or whatever, which was started by a few people just after the Ray Higdon course. So I'll go into that one, and then I won't post in a ton of those because it's payback, right? Like you post, they comment, you reciprocate, right? So you don't want to spend a lot of time having to comment on so many other blogs when you need to be doing active marketing, right? So you go in there, and I'll do like maybe 5 groups. So then you may have to make 25 posts, but I'll break that up during the week. So it'll be 5 a day. And I've been doing enough that people understand how it works for me.
That's good. As far as the syndication with Facebook, do you use any post planning software, or do you have any programs with Facebook to schedule them out, or do you actually just do that manually?
I just do it manually. It takes like, again, it'll be on a Saturday or Sunday. I'll start planning it out because Facebook, if you're going to go into lots of different groups, you need to change up your posts. So I'll change a word here and there so it doesn't look like I'm doing a copy paste. But then I have it in Notepad, so I copy paste to 5 different groups, and away we go. So I'll change a little bit of the sentence or whatever, so Facebook looks like I'm actually changing something and not just throwing stuff out there. Gotcha.
Miguel, do you got anything going on over there?
I do. Can you hear me, Scott? Do I sound okay?
You sound okay. If you having some video feed, you can go ahead and lower your bandwidth, or just go ahead and go vocal only.
Okay, I'm going to lower my bandwidth because the video is very choppy.
Okay.
Okay. Michael, you definitely mentioned, target market. Now, this is a very, very, very crucial and important item for people to know. What is your process for identifying your target market? I know a lot of people do a lot of different things, and I'm definitely curious what your process is on that.
Okay, well, the first thing I ever did was I sat down and said, listed out who my perfect customer was, who your perfect avatar, right? So you want to know, is it a guy? So if it's males, well, what are their ages? What do they do? Are they fathers? Are they active in sports with their kids? Do they like to coach? So I went through and I listed off exactly what it is. And then I said, well, okay, I got a guy, but do I have a women perfect? So I went through very similar things and came up with, a checklist of what I did. Found a lot of it out through .com secrets. They tell you exactly how to build the perfect customer. So I went through that and just answered those questions and came up with people that I would identify with and that would identify with me. And doing that, I have, just through posting and stuff like that, I have people, I think most of the people, well, not most of them, I've prospected some of them, but some of the, my MLSP people and people who joined my MLM and stuff, they actually contacted me. My last member in MLSP came to me. I went to high school with him. I knew he was in network marketing. I knew exactly what he was about. So, you just did some commenting and stuff on his stuff. And then, like they say, people are watching you. I never, ever believed that. I said, yeah, whatever. Well, lo and behold, the guy sends me a message last week, or actually 10 days ago, because he took a 10-day trial, said, I want to know what you're doing. I went, seriously? This happens? So he's in my age group. He's participates in the same things that I do. He's not married, but he's in the IT industry, so we have that in common. And well, obviously he's in network marketing and he's looking to expand his business. So just some of them, not that they're always going to be exactly right, but they're going to start relating to you by the stuff you put out there, right? And then, yeah, lo and behold, 10 days later, mastery member, $100 in my pocket, but it's not about that. It's nice, right? But no, I was like super excited because I was like, I've always been told that people are watching you, and I'm like, I don't think they are, because I get no comments on my stuff and no one's sharing my stuff. So once I really started concentrating on who my target market is and really putting the value out to my target market and not really caring about who's all seeing it, who's reading it and all that stuff, this people just started, like, they just message you. It's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's kind of cool.
One more thing, Michael. That's awesome. I love that. I love the feeling of calling a lead, a brand new person I've never met. I call them up and they know exactly who I am. I love that feeling, so I know exactly what you're talking about. This next question has a lot to do with the first question, and it is this: in your writing and in your communications, what's your best strategy for talking to that ideal person that you created? Right, you've got this model, this avatar of this person. What do you say to that person? Like, how do you communicate most effectively to that person so they will respond to you and come up and be like, you know what, you're just like me and I like you. What can we talk?
Well, in my emails, it took me a long time to understand and to really get this. But I started writing kind of like I was writing to myself or to my wife, kind of like about how my day was, or to my kids, right? Like, I'll tell my email list, like, hey, yesterday we had a ringette game. If you don't know what ringette is, just Google it. I'm not going to explain it. It's just girls sports on ice, but it's a fun one. And just like, so I'll talk to them about, like, hey, we had ringette. The girls were down 2-0 in the first 10 minutes. I had a timeout. We talked to them and told them about just believing in themselves and that they can do it because they're a good team. And we ended up winning, right? So I'll give them a replay almost of what happened and how you can tie it into your belief system, or how it can make you better. And then at the end, I just simply say, hey, if you're struggling with your belief system, like I have so many times, if you're struggling with leads, or you know what, if you're begging your dad to sign you up, like I was in my first MLM and my dad even hesitated, guess what? You know what? I can help you, because now I have over 30 people that I've helped personally coach, or direct them to a proper product. Just I have a call to action at the end where they can click something. I also tell them, text me. So a lot of them is just like writing like they're right beside you, or you're writing to your best friend. And they've really responded that way. And I changed that up probably about 6 months ago. And I really have a lot of people are opening my emails, and not a lot of unsubscribes. I have to unsubscribe people myself now. So, they're not opening emails up for 6 months. They're out of there. But my open rates have been increasing regularly. So I talk about things. I talk about, my work, because a lot of people are scared in this industry for some reason to talk about if you have a full-time job. Well, you know what? The way I look at it is, if I have a full-time job and I'm making a lot of money here, guess what? My lifestyle is pretty darn good, So yeah,
that's true. That's very true.
Yeah. So, and in my blogging, I just kind of flow into what I'm gonna more than likely is the keyword. We're gonna start off with an introduction, go to an invite, and then at the end just finish it off with a video.
Mike, you're an avid blogger. I've seen your blog. I've seen the results from your blog, all the leads flowing from there on a pretty regular basis. And I ask every guest we have on here, I ask them. You mentioned that you're doing a lot of one-on-one prospecting now and blogging at the same time. Where do you recommend your new people? When your new people come in the door, where do you recommend they start? Do you recommend they go immediately to prospecting, or jump on, like, start creating your blog and building your presence?
Well, the first thing that I always suggest people, it depends on what they're looking for right off the bat. Like, if they're like, I need to make money now type of thing, then I'm saying, you know what? You're going to start off with prospecting. You got to find people to identify with. You're going to use your Facebook profile as your content. So you're going to use that so that people can see what you're about, what you're providing for them. Once we've established that for the first 30 days, then let's start looking at a blog. Once we establish your blog and you can handle it, because when you start blogging, you need to blog at least 3 to 5 times a day. Or not a day, a week. Sorry.
Wow, there's a new king in town.
Yeah. You got to blog at least 3 to 5 times a week so that you can build that up and people know that you're for real, right? If you do it 5 times a week, and at the end of a month, you know, you got like what, 150 pieces of content. So yeah, so that's what I would.
It's
suggest.
a lot.
Yeah.
So absolutely recommend, you know, guess just based on their situation, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be different for everybody. So that's all about, you know, asking the right questions, getting to know the people, seeing their situation, and then it's going from there.
Awesome, very cool. I think Scott has some questions he wants to ask you for sure.
Yeah, these are just some rapid fire questions that I'm sure our audience will get some value out of. Michael, what is 1 or 2 of your favorite quotes?
Okay. This is great because I've been reading a lot of different books lately. So one of them, and one that was like huge for a mindset change for me, was the Motivation Manifesto by, I have all my books here. So when I'm looking there, I got my library right here, so I can just look over there, by Brendan Burchard. And it's about personal power is directly tied to personal responsibility, which most people avoid. So, you know, take your own responsibility. And guess what? Once you start doing that, you're going to start getting your own power, right? And you're going to feel empowered, and you're going to actually start moving forward. So that one was kind of cool. The other one is from Dale Carnegie. Now, there's a lot, but it came from How to Win Friends and Influence People. I would recommend people pick that up. I'm not a salesperson for it, but I'm just saying you should go get it. It's a good book. And this one here is one of the most tragic things I know about human nature is all of us tend to put off living. We're all dreaming of a magical rose garden over the horizon instead of enjoying the roses that are blooming outside our windows today. So, you know, you gotta, you know, a lot of people are wishing and hoping, but they're not doing too much about it. And those are ones that I continually look at every day. I have them on a piece of paper right now. They're just stuff that makes, you know, like, start living, man. Don't start, you know, you just gotta live, man. There's so much out there that you have to go and do, and before you know it, like, honestly, man, you don't want to be that old person sitting on the step yelling at people for walking on the grass, right? So
Absolutely not.
yeah.
Get off my grass.
Yeah, you know, have fun. Let them walk on the grass every now and then.
Michael, leaders or readers? So what book are you currently reading right now?
Okay, I jump from book to book to book. Honestly, it just depends on how I am. I got Dale Carnegie right here. I also have the 10X rule. I'm reading Todd Falcone's book. I don't have it with me. It's upstairs.
The Fearless Networker.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I have. I'll have like different days. I got like 4 books going. .com secrets I'll go back to and I'll read again. So I go when I stop, and I go when I stop, but I read every day. I make sure I read at least a half an hour a day. And it just depends on what I'm feeling like when I wake up in the morning. If it's like, yeah, this is going to be a day where I'm going to do a lot of prospecting. I need to get, you know, a little Grant Carnegie going. Not Grant Cardone, Dale Carnegie, and get those guys going, depending on how I am that day. So, you know, if it's like I need a mindset day, guess what? I'm going to be open with some Brendan Burchard. If I'm going to be writing some email, guess what? I'm going to pull up .com secrets. You know, if it's all about sales, it's going to be some Grant Cardone, and go from there.
So can you tell us, what is one habit that's helped you become successful in your business?
Lately, it has been all about being consistent. Now, I know everyone says that, we hear it all the time, but it's so true. And how I want to, like my little ringette team, you got to understand these girls are like 8 and 9, and my biggest lessons this year have been from them. And so at the beginning of the year, I had so many different levels of girls. Like some are like really, really good. Some are like okay, right in the middle. And then some are just never skated before in their life. And I remember going out on the ice the first time and going, oh my goodness, what do I got myself into? So it's all about consistency. I had a process that I had written down. This is what we're going to do this day. We're going to do this day, like each practice, what we're going to do. And I'm like, we're going to get better. And the girls all bought in. And now when I look at those girls, because they've been consistently working every single practice, every game. Like we started our first couple of games, we got blown out of the rink. And I sat back and I said, I don't know if I'm doing what's right here. But I said, no, you started a process. You need to finish it. You believe in yourself. You can help these girls. And this is all in my head. I'm telling them, I'm like, are they having fun? And then parents started coming up to me and saying, I see like change in the girls. They're doing so much better. And I'm like, seriously? You see that? And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, the process is working. I'm like, okay, so let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. So every day we'd be working on skating and everything like that. And then now we're first place in the league. We're 4-0 because they stop it at the end of the Christmas and rearrange things. So now these girls are 4-0. People are talking about a championship, which is so cool, but they're still the same kids. But now the girls who couldn't skate are at the level that the other girls were at, and the girls who are in the middle are now at the high level, and the older girls who are graduating into the next level next year are being called up to like up age. So it's like, wow, this is cool. And it just really proves that if you're consistent every single day, every time you go out and do something, whether you do it 3 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever, if you just keep doing it, it's going to come. And so that really started the whole mindset change and everything like that, and really believing that there's the possibilities there, because it's just amazing what's happened. And it really says, like, if you're consistent, things will change. If we had stopped after like the second practice and I said, you know what, this is not going to happen, we're just going to play all day, we wouldn't be in the spot we are right now. So, and I know they're 8 and 9, we're not supposed to talk about winning, but you know, we do talk about winning, and they learned something. And these girls' self-esteem is just flying high. So they're not cocky. They know exactly what they have to do. They get on the ice and they're disciplined and they go and do it. And, you know, at the end of the game, say, hey, did you have fun? And I've told the girls, it's not right now about winning and losing. It's about what we're doing on the ice. If you give everything you have and the score is against us, it's against us. You can't do anything, right? So as long as we're consistent, you go put the effort in, you're going to get the results. And that applies to our business as well. And it just blows me away that 8, 9-year-olds had to teach me that.
I'm sorry, Scott, I'm just going to comment on that because that was a fantastic story. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. I absolutely applaud your ability to see this. I just want to illustrate a point. What Michael just did there is he told a story. He told a story that was very visceral. He pulled you in and made you pay attention. This is what reading an email should feel like, because we talked about that earlier in the hangout. That's what it would be like if you got one of Mike's emails and you read it and you were like, oh my gosh, he's right. You know, these kids have been working so hard, and I totally identify with that. I identify with that because I have a youngster in sports as well. So yeah, so kudos. Thank you. I just wanted to point that out for everybody because it's a beautiful example. Scott, go ahead, buddy.
I just asked you about advice. I asked you about, well, actually, I lost my place. But what I am going to ask you is, give me the best piece of advice that you've ever received as related to your business by somebody that you admire or somebody that's an equal.
Yeah, this one's one of the easiest ones. that you could ask me. Right off the top of my head, it's Justin Egan. He's been a huge mentor and coach for me for a long time. And when I was seriously doubting myself at one time, and if you know Justice, man, the guy's gonna kick you in the butt. And I told him one day, I said, like, dude, like, I don't know why people aren't, like, what am I doing wrong? You told me to blog, I blog. You told me to email, I email. You tell me to go talk to people, I do. But nothing's happening. He's like, so he looked at my stuff and he's like, well, and this is what Ray Higdon kind of told him, and Justice kind of did to me. He's like, well, you don't believe in yourself. I'm like, what do you mean I don't believe in myself? He's like, well, do you believe that you are Mike Blanken McDonald? I said, well, yeah, I know that. He's like, but do other people do that? Do other people know that? And I said, well, I don't think so, because they're not signing up for me. He's like, well, you know what? Once you actually believe that's who you are, people will start just coming to you. And it's until that belief system is there that once you get it, you get it. And when I took that away and I sat down and I said, you know what? I am good. Not to be like overconfident or anything. I went and I read my blog, and I went and looked at my Facebook posts, and I said, you know what? I'm giving out good stuff. So now I should know that, and I need to believe in myself and just even do more. And so that's the one thing is Justice. I have that one always in my head, no matter what. As soon as there's like any sort of little bit of self-doubt coming in, Justice Egan's foot comes and kicks me in the butt, and I just go on. He's been a huge coach and mentor of myself.
Thank you. You know, us as being internet marketers, we're constantly dealing with new apps and programs and different things. Do you have a favorite phone app or program that you like to use or that you'd recommend to your audience, like Evernote?
Yeah, like I've thought about that before, but the only one I really use is Facebook Messenger. It's the way I communicate. Since I do a lot of things through Facebook, like Facebook groups and stuff. Messenger is one of the easiest things to do, to use. It's right there. You can do even phone calls right on it. So, you know, you can also send voice messages. Not the best at, but I'm getting better at them. Sometimes it cuts off my messages and I have to redo it again. And I go, fat thumb, sorry, I got to do another message. So, you know, that's mine. Mine is, Facebook Messenger.
Awesome. Before we get into the sudden death questions over here, I want to go ahead and turn over to Miguel one last time and see if you have any closing thoughts or questions, Miguel.
I'm very, Mike, thanks for coming out tonight, man. I absolutely appreciate you, and it's wonderful to see you again. I know we were roommates very early on in our career, and then again, and it's bloomed into something amazing and something beautiful. So I'm very grateful for you being here, man. And I've been watching your success as you've just climbed through the leaderboards and just had some awesome success. So, guys, I guess the only thought that I have right now is you got to get into this community. And I normally don't tell people what to do a lot. Usually I suggest. Usually I make a recommendation. Usually I say this is what I think you should do. But I am telling you tonight, I am telling you that it is time to say yes. I'm ready to get results and go click the yellow button. So, because then you will have an opportunity to work with not only us, the Influence Tribe, but also be a part of the amazing community that's brought us all together. That's mostly my thought that I wanted to share with everybody. Again, Michael, thank you for hanging out with us this evening. I absolutely appreciate you. If you need a roommate later, let me know. I'd love to fill that slot for you.
Sure, buddy, all the time, man.
Because I know we got events coming around this year for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome, man.
So, Mike, are you ready for the $1 million question?
I've been waiting for this one. Listen to the podcast all the time. Yeah.
All right, you've lost all your income, but you have all the knowledge that you currently possess. So if you had to start all over again, what would you do in your business to start getting immediate results?
Okay. So have I lost my income and I have no phone?
I'll say you have a phone.
We'll say, yeah.
You have a phone and a business minimum.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So the first thing I would do is, again, I'd start using Facebook. I would start finding different groups that were in my niche, whatever it is, and whatever your network marketing company is, or your affiliate marketing program, and I would start finding those people. So I have my target audience. I'd start looking for those people. I start prospecting, anywhere from 10 to 20 people per day, talking to them, friending them, following them. That's what I would do online to start growing my audience, because you need to build an audience. Once you have your audience, then you start engaging with them. And then once you have them engaged, you can start selling to them. And if they're engaged, they don't really care if you start selling to them, because they like what you have and they're answering your posts and everything like that. So, and also if they do like stuff on your posts, you simply just send them a message and you can say, and again, voice, hey, thanks. I'm glad you really come to my page all the time. Awesome stuff. I really appreciate if you speak like, I really appreciate the love, then you can say that. But if you don't, and it's a girl, you never know. It might be really weird. But so you want to keep it like how you are. So definitely would be Facebook groups, making sure you're growing your audience every day. If it was offline, you could definitely get in, some business groups, go to some meetup meetings and stuff like that. You can, join an entrepreneurial, like maybe you can join your chamber of commerce or something like that. Get into places where people are already networking, so that they know that that's your primary business, is to do that. And you can just start making friends. So the more friends you make, the better for your business. So that's exactly what I would start doing, making friends.
All right. Mike, do you got any parting words for our audience? And what's the best way that they can go ahead and connect with you?
Okay, well, the only thing, the advice that I could give everyone that's listening to this, whether it's tonight or on the podcast or wherever the replay is simply just seriously, be consistent. If you don't remember what I was talking about being consistent, just rewind it, go to a little story about the Marinette girls, and start just being consistent, doing things full out. Okay, that means just give it. If you have an hour to dedicate to your business, give it a full hour and just go at it. Like if you're on a treadmill and you had an hour to run, you would just keep running, right? So because you have an hour to run, you'd be like, I have to run for an hour. I got to run for an hour. Well, do the same thing with your business. If you have an hour, then you go all out and be consistent. Enjoy yourself. Believe in yourself as well, because you know what? People are watching, whether you think they are or not. I, for one, for many, many, many years, did not believe people were watching me, until I had people start messaging me who I haven't even spoken to. And so people are doing that. They want to see you people want to be around people who are consistent, people who are getting results, right? And if you're doing things consistently and you're putting everything into it, you're going to start getting results. Once you start getting those results, you start sharing those results. People will start seeing it. And so if you want to reach me, you can go to michaelmcdonald.com. That's my blog. You can definitely contact me through there. Facebook, it's all like Michael S. McDonald. Friend request me, send me a message saying you saw this podcast. I'll accept it. And that's about it. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff, but
All right. So, folks, if you happen to be watching this, we want to thank you for going ahead and hanging out with us tonight. And for everybody that's listening to the podcast, be sure to head on over to iTunes, like, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. So, you know, you are a product of the 5 most influential people you hang around with. And tonight you've been hanging out with Michael McDonald. So with that, I want to wish you good night and God bless. Thanks, Mike.
No problem. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.